Tonight, 8 billion people are asleep. Right now, in Tokyo, Lagos, Buenos Aires, London, New York, every single human on Earth is lying down, eyes closed, breathing slow. And something that has happened every single night for 300,000 years is not happening. No one is dreaming. Not one person. Not one child. Not one scientist, artist, soldier, or surgeon. The screen inside every human mind has gone completely dark. And by morning, the world will never be the same. But here is the terrifying part. You would not even know it happened. Not at first. The collapse would be invisible, silent, and already running. To understand what we just lost, you need to understand what dreaming actually is. Scientists call it REM sleep, rapid eye movement. And for decades, researchers dismissed it as the brain's screensaver. They were catastrophically wrong. Dreaming is the brain's most powerful maintenance cycle. During REM sleep, your brain is not resting. It is running a full system update. Pruning dead connections. Reinforcing memories. Processing trauma. Regulating emotion. Literally rewiring your neural architecture. Every single night. And here is where quantum consciousness enters the picture. Leading neuroscientists now believe that dreaming may be the biological mechanism through which human consciousness regenerates itself. Dreams are not random noise. They are the human brain talking to itself. Repairing itself. Becoming itself. Take that away from every human being simultaneously. You do not just disrupt sleep. You begin dismantling the architecture of human civilization from the inside out. The morning after night one is deceptively normal. 7 billion alarm clocks go off. Coffee is made. Children are dressed. Trains run on time. But something feels wrong. And everyone feels it. It is the feeling of waking up empty. Usually, even when you do not remember your dreams, you wake carrying fragments. A strange image. A half-formed emotion. A lingering thought you cannot quite place. On the morning after night one, there are no fragments. Just nothing. A clean black slate where 8 hours should have been. Doctors and nurses feel it too. Emergency department staff report a creeping emotional detachment. Not exhaustion exactly. Something more precise. Like the buffer between themselves and human pain has been quietly removed overnight. By 9 a.m., sleep laboratories around the world are in chaos. The REM readings from the previous night are flatlines. Across all subjects. Across all demographics. Global. But the world is not worried yet. One night without dreams does not collapse a civilization. The problem is, it does not stop at one night. By day 3, teachers notice something. Children who normally absorb new information rapidly are struggling. Simple math. Basic reading comprehension. The material is not harder. The children are. Here is why. Sleep researchers have known for decades that REM sleep is critical for memory consolidation. When you learn something new, your waking brain stores it temporarily. During dreaming, that information is transferred into long-term memory. Without dreams, new learning does not stick. It fades by morning like smoke. By day 5, financial markets begin behaving strangely. Algorithmic systems are performing normally. But the humans behind the desks are not. Slower. More hesitant. Making errors they would never normally make. Small errors, but in a system operating on razor-thin margins, small errors cascade. Day 6. A near miss at Chicago O'Hare. 2 aircraft. 47 seconds from collision. The controller was experienced. 22 years on the job. He simply missed it. He could not explain why. Cognitive decline is spreading through the global population like a slow tide. Not enough to show on any single test. But everywhere. In everything. In everyone. And it has been only 7 days. The emotional consequences hit harder than the cognitive ones. And they hit faster. By week 2, psychiatric emergency departments report a 340% spike in cases. Anxiety disorders. Acute depressive episodes. Rage incidents. The common thread. Every patient says the same thing. They cannot explain why they feel this way. They just do. Because here is what dreams were actually doing while you slept. Emotional therapy. The brain uses REM sleep to reprocess difficult memories, replaying them while stripping away the stress hormones. It is the reason trauma feels less raw after a good night's sleep. Without dreams, the brain loses its natural reset mechanism. Every day's emotional weight accumulates. Nothing is processed. Nothing is resolved. By the end of month 1, social cohesion is visibly fraying. Arguments that would normally de-escalate do not. Marriages that were stable fracture. Communities that were tight-knit turn hostile. And no one understands why, because the cause is invisible. And now the most dangerous part begins. The people making civilization-altering decisions are cognitively and emotionally compromised. The diplomats. The generals. The presidents. The judges. All of them, running on a brain that has lost access to its most critical restoration process. By month 3, the economic impact is undeniable. Global productivity has dropped by an estimated 29%. Not because people are sleeping less. They are sleeping just as long. But without dreams, the quality of human cognitive performance has been permanently degraded. Innovation stops. Not suddenly. But the great leaps, the 3 a.m. eureka moments, the dreamlike connections between unrelated ideas, they are gone. Because that is what dreams were. Not entertainment. Not randomness. The brain's creative engine. The birthplace of every unexpected solution humanity ever found. Einstein conceived the theory of relativity in a dream. Kekulé discovered the structure of the benzene ring in a dream. Paul McCartney heard yesterday in a dream. Without dreams, the frontier where the AI and human brain were about to achieve the greatest convergence in consciousness science. Stalled. Indefinitely. Medicine deteriorates. Surgeons remain technically capable. But surgical precision demands emotional control, rapid intuition, and creative problem-solving under pressure. 3 functions that depend entirely on intact REM sleep cycles. Year 1 ends with a world that still functions. Barely. Only because human systems were built with redundancy. Backup procedures. Committees. Checks and balances. But those safety nets are now carrying weight they were never designed to hold. Here is the terrifying mathematical reality. Scientists estimate that within 18 months of global dreamlessness, the long-term cognitive decline becomes irreversible. The brain, deprived of its nightly repair cycle, begins to show physical changes. Synaptic pruning goes wrong. Neural plasticity, the brain's ability to rewire and adapt, collapses. We stop being able to learn. We stop being able to heal. We stop being able to imagine. The generation born into a dreamless world would not just grow up different. They would be neurologically different. A human species without the capacity to dream is a species that has surrendered the single thing that made it human. The ability to imagine what does not yet exist. to dream of a better world, and then build it. Every civilization humanity ever built, every scientific breakthrough, every work of art that made someone feel less alone, every act of courage that required a person to imagine a different future. All of it, rooted in the dream. But here is the thought that should keep you awake tonight. We do not fully know what dreams are for. Not completely. Science has theories. Brilliant ones. But the complete picture remains one of the deepest unsolved mysteries in all of neuroscience. Which means we do not know what we would truly lose, until it was already gone. But what if, instead of losing our greatest dreams, we built one? Not a metaphor. A real structure. A cable, anchored to Earth's surface, climbing 36,000 kilometers into geostationary orbit. A space elevator. The most audacious engineering project in human history. If it worked, everything changes. The cost of reaching space drops by 99% overnight. Manufacturing moves off-planet. Energy beams down from orbit. Humanity becomes a multi-world species. The next Imagine IF drops soon. And what we discovered will genuinely change how you see the future. Hit subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because this one, you cannot afford to miss.